Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy RDP. I told you guys I would update you on the LTC instructor course that I just, guess you can say, graduated from on yesterday. For those of you that may be interested in possibly becoming an instructor, here's what I would say. As soon as you find out you're going to take the class, get what you're going to be shooting out there, which I think it's anything above a 38 caliber. I took a little 380 out there, and I took a revolver out there. You got to shoot with both, and start practicing. They do allow holographic red sights. I didn't know about, or I would have put that on something and probably shot a lot better than I did. But take that into consideration. But get comfortable with what you'll be shooting as soon as you know that you're going to be taking the class, so you'll be well versed. You won't be stressed out, and whatever the case may be. I actually had to borrow what I was shooting, and I totally, like, to be honest with you, I forgot about the class until like a week or so out, and I got a chance to shoot a couple of times. When I say couple, like once or twice before I actually took the class. But luckily enough, I enjoy shooting so much that I really took my time and did the things that were necessary. But anyway, just to give you a brief overview of how the class went, the first 2 days is like all coursework. They held it in Austin, Texas at a convention center. There was 84 or 86 people, and my particular class was a lot of people. DPS put on a fantastic class, especially considering sitting in the class all day and how boring just going over the legislation and the laws and all those things that are important to gun ownership and teaching people the importance of owning a gun and having an LTC and those types of things. So they did a real good job by getting us our breaks, bringing humor to the class, just making it fun, because they know, sitting in there was a bit much. I drove in from Houston, so my days were long. I didn't get a room down there. I just like being in my own bed in my own house. I did go down to Mom's one day and stay down there in Bryan College Station, I think Tuesday night, but the other nights I drove and came home or whatever. So the first 2 days were just coursework. You dig what I'm saying? And then you take a test at the end of those days. But throughout the course, they're going to let you know the things that are important and that are probably going to be on the test, so you'll be well prepared to pass the test. So at the end of the second day, you pass the test. Then you get depending on how many people are in your class, they'll break you up into 2 different cycles. The first cycle is at 7:30 at the DPS training center, and I think the second cycle was like at 9:30 at the facility. And I think what they did was let those of us that had a drive that was further than a couple of hours go in the first cycle. We got preference, and then the second group that was closer, like Austin area, Round Rock area, they stayed until later. But you shoot with that group that you're in, either first or second, you're shooting from 3 yards, 7 yards, and then 15 yards with both of the revolver and the semi. You think it'd be easy. You think it'd be like 3 yards, 7 yards. Like, I do this all the time. I can tell you this: most people shoot semis, not revolvers, so often, and it's a little bit different. You think you're just gonna jump up there and carry out things the same way you do with your everyday carry. That's probably a semi, but it's a little bit different. So luckily I was able to shoot out at my buddy John's place, Boar's Nest, just to get comfortable with the aiming and all that. And to be quite honest with you, I actually, for part of that exam, I used the guy next to me had another, God, I can't remember, 211. It was some kind of revolver, but the groove in it at the back sights leading up to the front sight was very deep, so it was a lot easier to aim, with the firing cycles that they had us on. So when I'm hunting or when I'm shooting, I don't like holding the position that I'm about to fire in too long, right? So if you tell me, they're gonna ask you, is the line ready? Which means everybody on the line, if you're ready to shoot. And at that point, you can actually aim at the target right? You can aim at the ground. You can't hold it up, or you can just bring it back to your chest, which is what I like to do. And once they say, is the line ready? And when they say line is ready again, that's when I get into my shot position, because I don't like to hold on a target long at all. It gives me, just me personally, like this, you do whatever's best for you, but for me, it gives me too much time for variance and placement. So I'm more of a quick find target, shoot, come back to a safe position for myself. So we did that, finished up. You score, each other's targets. They come by and check. And if you're not past, like if you're 1 off or 2 off and you think they're gonna just let you roll through with that, no sir, no sir, you have to pass. And you need a 225, I think the range was 225 to 250. You need to be above 225 to pass. So get comfortable with that weapon before you go out there. Now, as far as my next move, what I'm gonna do next, when they send me my certificate, I'm gonna find out how, not only am I gonna hold classes, because I like to get to a point where it's online, the classroom portion where I can do the hours, 4 to 6 hours for those that wanna have the license online, and then I could just meet them at the range and approve their proficiency with shooting. But in the beginning, I'll probably just travel. Anybody that wants to have those classes, I'll probably just travel and either have it at my place, or I know I'm gonna go home and do one in Bryan, probably at Mom's or somewhere, and then we can find a range to shoot at and get them, licensed. So all in all, it was a good class. If I could change anything, the only thing that I would have changed is I would have shot a lot more with the, I just would have, weeks out, I would have been shooting a lot more. I would have also added that red holographic sight on the semi, and I probably would have stayed in town. Like, it's a lot. That drive was 2 hours and 30 minutes minimum going, and coming. So after that long day of class, or before it, you got the long drive, and then coming home, you got that long drive. The good thing about that was that it was early in the morning when I was going, so there's nobody on the road. I was leaving Houston at 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, getting there with plenty enough time. So if you plan on taking that class to become an instructor, I would suggest getting plenty of shooting time in. I would also suggest possibly staying in town. Just find something to do, or at least close enough to where it's not too much of a drive, because it's going to be stressful enough anticipating having to shoot on that Friday. I don't know when the next class is going to be, but it was well worth it. You're going to leave out of there prepared. Like, it's not a walk in the park. It's not one of these things where they just gonna let you skate through, especially with the shooting portion, which I get it, man. Like that, you're carrying life and death on you at all times. So I highly suggest those things. And for those of you that want to take a class with me, just stay in the loop. I'll post it here on social media, and I'll let you guys know what my schedule is looking like. I'll probably do family for the first few classes, just to get them all squared away, which is my reasoning behind doing all this, is that I had a few, the ladies in my family, the women in my family asked about, getting their license to carry. And, my whole thought process, like, if y'all are gonna pay somebody else to do it and I can find the time, which Lord knows I don't have a whole lot of time, but I thought it was important enough for me to make the time. Like, I took some time off of work, the last 3 days off of work, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, to take this class, because I knew it was gonna be beneficial for those, especially my family and my close, that circle that want to get the LTC. And a lot of y'all are gonna watch this video and you're thinking to yourself, I don't need an LTC because we got constitutional carry and all that. There's some stipulations to that. You can't just move around like you want to move around, and there are some places that you can get into with your license that you can't just get into with constitutional carry. And if you have your LTC, there's reciprocity laws in states to where they'll honor that LTC from Texas in different states. So if you go to Louisiana and there's an agreement between Texas and Louisiana that you can carry concealed there, then that LTC will grant you that, versus you just walking around Texas with your constitutional carry, thinking that you can travel and do this and that, and they're gonna, like, everybody's laws aren't like Texas laws. So it is still extremely beneficial for you to take that class and get proficient at it and know the laws and know those things. But I wanted to update y'all on what it all entailed, and I'm tired. Like I'm just getting myself back together from the last 3 days, and I'll keep you guys posted. Thank y'all for supporting me. I know this video went a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of how everything went. And if you have any specific questions, if you have anything for me, y'all know y'all can DM me. My information is out there. People will tell you I get back to my messages pretty quick. I may not get back to all the comments on posts, but if it comes in the messenger, I'll usually get back to people real quick. I get a lot of messages, so I can't sit and go back and forth with you all day, but I'll try to get back to the pertinent questions and information. Thank y'all that knew that I was going. A few people did, besides family, and sent me like, just, you got this text in the mornings and throughout the day. And that kind of kept me wanting to pay attention and wanting to stay up and knowing that I was going to do well in it. And I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. So it's on to the next thing, man. Y'all know your boy I don't rest on my laurels. Like I don't do something and it's like, oh, now I got this instructor's license, I can kick back. No. Now it's time for me to become an even better instructor. It's time for me to take maybe some tactical courses so I can get into that. Maybe take the school safety courses and those things. But dude, when you stop forcing yourself to grow is when you start declining. So y'all always like, Rob, you ain't got no time to be doing this and that. You got this going on, that going on. I get it. I dig it. And sometimes I hate being as busy as I am, but I know it doesn't allow me to start weakening, right? It doesn't allow me to regress. I'm constantly pushing towards the next thing, you know. And I don't know anybody in my circle that has the businesses that I have, the certificates that I have, and those things. And that's not a bragging deal. That is he keeps himself busy deal, but it's for a reason. You dig what I'm saying? My kids can see me, and when they reach those points in their life where they're like, I don't have time to do this, or I can't figure out how to do this, they'll have a dad that they can look to that's like, no, this is what's running through our blood. Like, you can figure out a way to get it done if you want to get it done bad enough. So it's just a matter of those things. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Those of you that are out for opening weekend of archery season, I am envious of you. I was too exhausted to get up and go out this morning, so we'll see what we do this evening and maybe on Sunday. Other than that, man, I love y'all. It's RDP. I'm out.